Hi, I'm Rod, and this is how I roll. I roll in a Grech Turismo-ion. Let's take a little trip and see how I do it. Okay, let's get ready to take off here. I'm in Alabama, getting ready to go to Indiana. So first thing we want to do, let's get these shades up. So, I'll be able to see out. So push one button and all these shades come up. So that's good. Going to be on I-65 going north. Just for curiosity, what have I got going on here? Big backpacks, got my computer, Wi-Fi, all kinds of work stuff. I'll be using this table to work a little bit. Smaller backpack with a camelback, water there. I'll be hiking and on a golf course, watching professional golfers. So I got all kinds of goodies in there, you know, sunscreen, bug spray, a towel to keep you cool. Anyway, this is your Turismo-ion. Yeah, I'll be watching a little TV back here. So flying solo, yeah, all this good stuff will go in my backpack. I guess I can lay it, so keep it here. Maybe I'll put it in the backpack before I head out. I got some water. It'll probably ride right here. Not much going on in the refrigerator. I got some water. What is that? A Grapey Co. May put something in here later. Did fire up the, had everything charged up 100% last night. Ran this all night, the fan all night. Interesting, it went from 100% down to 78%. So, up here, got some golf shirts just hanging, you know, next to the door. There's my bag with all of my toothpaste, toothbrush, medications. Back here behind this, you know, in the Turismo-ion, this is the 19-footer. My wife and I wanted the short version so we could park it and go anywhere, but these are all your sunshades up here. Let's go to the cab. Okay, up here I got this this little zip-up thing I got in flying Delta 1, but I got everything in here from pocket knives to lip balm to pen, flashlights, maybe some mace, things like that. Up here's where I keep my sunglasses and extra reading glasses, and I don't know, maybe a handkerchief or two or something. Up here, I'm not going to go into everything. This is my wife's side over here. For like a 3-day trip where you're going to be mostly outdoors and everything, I like these collapsible bags. So I have all of my undies, my shorts, my t-shirts, and everything in here. This little Yeti bag, I've just got some apples and oranges in there. And I threw an extra charger here. I'm going to stay at Harvest Host tonight. Sometimes Harvest Host will let you plug into a 110, so I brought an extra plug for that. Up here, I do like these Yeti cups with a straw. So this is ice water. Of course, it'll stay ice water for days in this Yeti. Over here, coffee for wellness. Phil Mickelson winning the Masters. I do have half and half here. Half decaf and half regular. Up here, you know, good news about these Greches. They have a lot of cup holders. So up here, I've got some snacks. You know, I like to keep nuts and things like that up here. All right, that's enough for now. Let's go to Indiana. Off and at 'em. First intersection, we're making it good. Little Miranda Lambert going on. Got my water, got my coffee, got my snacks. I moved my snacks because there's a reflection right there, but here we go, folks. Rod, this is how I roll. I am rolling into Nashville, Tennessee in a traffic jam. So anyway, I just thought I would give you an update on this is how I roll in my Grech Turismo-ion. Luckily, I have a Sirius radio on my phone. You know, you have Sirius radio on, if you just have it on one vehicle, you can also have it on your phone and then Bluetooth it into your other vehicles. So there's no need to have, if you have multiple RVs like we do, we're fortunate enough to be able to do that. If you have multiple cars, little tip there from Rod, you only need one Sirius XM channel, and you can play it on your iPhone and Bluetooth it into your other, you know, once the free subscription goes out. But I'll keep you updated. Okay, stop for fuel. None other than Buckees. How does Rod roll? This is how Rod rolls. So we can get some diesel fuel here at Buckees. No big trucks, but they do let RVs in here, so if I was in my Super C, it would be interesting, but let's see what we can do here. Here we go. Gotta beat me. Here we are at Buckees. About 21 gallons. Yep, I was in reserve fuel mode. This thing holds what, 26? You Grech holders? 25, 26 gallons. So yeah, I was getting low. Yep, this is how Rod rolls. My Grech. A life without caramel corn just might not be worth living.
Mystical figure in the upper chamber, slowly kicking things out of the president's big beautiful bill so they meet the rules. This bill meets the rules of reconciliation. It's got to be a budget related matter, and some of the things that Republicans have written in here simply don't.
At the roundabout, take the first exit, then take the first right turn.
Coming up on our harvest host, looks like they grow their own grapes here for the vineyard. Get all of that. So they make wine here, and perhaps beer is my understanding. So there you have it, folks. This is how Rod rolls. We're rolling into Chateau D Peak, and impressive so far. Looking good. And we'll see where they want us to park. Okay, how Rod rolls. Here we are at the harvest host, and you'll see I just plugged in my 300 amp to what amounts to a 20 amp plug. So thank you to this harvest host and we got the baby shark ready. Now let's go inside and see what we can do here. The Grech. May want to call it a baby Grech. I don't know. Door open. Now then, go ahead and get the door closed. What the heck? I think this is a one-time push button. There we go. All right, let's get something going here. Let's go to cool. Let's go to medium. And who knows? Let's take it down to 75 right now. All right. Let's see, are we ready to close the shades? Might as well be, right? Let's see, I think I have something in the back. Yeah, let me go get something out of the back before I close the shades. Because later on I'll be letting the bed. Yeah, here we are in the back. Yeah, we store a table. See that table right there? Made in China, imagine that. And then we have some chairs. So let's see if the name's on the outside of these chairs. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, anyhow, 2 chairs here and a table there, so we have to take them out before we let the bed down later tonight. This is how Rod rolls. Now let's look at the shades. Let's let them all down. Goes down here, goes down back here. The back goes a little farther down, because when the bed lets down, that's lower down. I think maybe we have it now. All right, we got the shades down. Next thing we're gonna do is get this covered up here, and we're gonna use the ones that came with the Grech, or I'm gonna use them. Like I said, I'm flying solo. This is how Rod rolls. Okay. You know, sometimes you have to remember to pop these lights on if they're already turned off, but yeah, you know, if I was gonna stay here a few nights without moving the RV, I would probably tuck those in a little tighter. But no, yeah, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Ready to go inside and partake of the local proprietors' products. I'll set this up later. Okay.
Honey wheat and chocolate peanut butter porter.
Chocolate peanut butter porter. Okay, that might wind up being a winner. We used to have that in Huntsville at Rocket Republic, but they quit due to allergies of the peanut butter. But anyway.
So I recently had the chocolate peanut butter porter 2 ways.
Right.
Had it on the draft and then the cast hand pump.
Uh-huh.
But then when we blew it off the hand pump, they put Scottish ale on there.
Gotcha.
And that was so wild. It was like 2 completely different beers side by side for those 2 ways.
Allie, photo op.
Nice.
She doesn't have one. Tidbit, photo op. Photo op. Okay, Navarre, photo op. Oh, Navarre, you know that.
This is a wedding venue here as well. I think we have a wedding scheduled for this weekend at this winery and vineyard. There's a story about a big train wreck here. Not a train wreck, but a train robbery here. And I'll give you more information on that. But this is where you do the wine tasting and the beer tasting. They do grow their own wines here in Indiana. We're here just south of Indianapolis, Indiana. And this is how Rod rolls. Giving you some feedback on Harvest Host. Harvest Host is a great program for you. And you meet some interesting people. Tonight I met Kip. I won't tell you her last name, but she was a very famous TV star, or excuse me, a TV, and here's some of the grapes here at the vineyard. So you can see they grow their own grapes here. Very nice, very nice. Anyway, she was on Crook and Chase. She was the host of Crook and Chase for years. Kip, you can look her up. And she was cool to talk to. She's interviewed all the country stars down through the years. Garth Brooks, you name it. But yeah, just look out there at the vineyard. Very quiet, very nice here in Indiana. So you think of California as a place you want to be? Nope. You can be a lot of places and grow grapes and make some nice wines. Yep, taking a little walk before I call it a night here at Chateau D Peak. So you can see it is both a brewery here, and oh my gosh, they have a chocolate peanut butter brown ale here that is to die for. They used to have that at Rocket Republic in Huntsville, but not anymore. But a little off the beaten path here, just south of Indianapolis, Indiana. But you can see a lot of grapes here. So a lot of tending, very well kept. Eric was our host here tonight for Harvest Host. And Eric is originally from Chicago. And he put up a very nice charcuterie for us. Gosh, what did we have? We had cheeses, we had blueberries, we had grapes, we had crackers, we had olives, we had, I can't remember what all we had in the charcuterie. It was $12, but happy hour, everything was half price. And I walked out of here with 5 bottles of wine, a couple of beers, a charcuterie, and I gave a 25% tip, and I walked out of here for $90. So, what a deal is that? You know, if you stay at an RV park near here, you're gonna pay $60, $70. Here you can get $90 worth of goods and stay free. And oh, by the way, they let me plug into 110 20 amps for no extra charge. I was willing to pay, you know, as hot as it is here, I was willing to pay, you know, 10 or 20 bucks a night just to be able to plug in and not, well, I don't have a generator on my Grech. So my guess was around midnight I was going to run out of battery because it's in the 90s here. Maybe it's in the 80s now, but so there you go. Walking around, getting some steps in before I call it a night. More later. Types of grapes. There are several acres here of grapes, vineyards. You see them here. And I'm walking up on some of the very well landscaped. It's kind of interesting that they have this much landscaping. I guess they have amphitheater events here. So you see here, almost Roman, Athens, Greece type amphitheater. So I guess they have some sort of performances here. Chateau D Peak. You can see there, that was the whole process, I guess, of setting up this arena, this amphitheater. So they could have Shakespeare, they could have any sort of thing here, you name it. And this is where the actors and actresses would be waiting for their turn to go out. And this is what they would be seeing if you were acting here at this winery and brewery. So they've invested a lot. I would like to come here on another day and see what performances they might have going on. I think I might have mentioned earlier that there is a wedding this Saturday. This is Thursday night. I'm on my way to the Epson tour event, just 20 miles north of here at the Otter Bay Golf Club. Heading back to the Grech. Do not have the awning out, no need. No need to have the awning out, to have the outdoor lights on. Getting ready to call it a day. Epson tour. All the flags of the countries represented. Road to the LPGA. Nice day in Columbus, Indiana. Getting ready to cover the back nine, which is actually the front nine here. 89 degrees for these ladies. Getting ready to tee off. The Epson tour. Road to the LPGA. Rod, and this is how I roll. This is Rod, and this is how I roll. Waking up on the road to a cup of coffee, little breakfast, keeping it simple.